comment,
and subscribe for more content.
Where's the notification bell?
It's to the right of you.
Oh.
What's up, guys? Welcome to this edition of a Funko Popcast. I'm DK Wrestler.
And I'm MD Shady.
And in today's podcast, we got some banger, straight fire, eruption of flames Funko Pops in today's podcast. Probably the best week of Funko Pop announcements as terms to this month specifically. So I'm excited to talk about some of those Funko Pops. Today, there won't be a What's the Hap segment just because, like I mentioned, we have a lot of Funko Pops to talk about, some banger Funko Pops. Today is also our top 10 Funko Pops list for the month of April 2021. And then we also have our quarterly segment Pop-tistics to go before that top 10 list. So anyone that's new to the podcast and don't know what Pop-tistics is, of course, stay tuned. But without further ado, I might as well kick off. We got some Funko Pop announcements ranging from April 18th up until April 21st. So kicking off, we got ourselves announced by Pop Culture on the 18th is an exclusive Funko Pop of Splinter for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Retro Toys lineup, which this is available now on Pop Culture's website, but there is restricted shipping, so no Americans or Canadians can get this pop at the moment. But this is rumored to be a Target exclusive in the US, which would most likely mean that this will be a Toys R Us exclusive here in Canada. Then we got ourselves some pops for the upcoming movie Space Jam: A New Legacy, which there's quite a bit of pops here, commons and exclusives. So starting off with the common pops, we got ourselves Lola Bunny, Daffy Duck as Coach, Bugs Bunny, White Mamba, Marvin the Martian, Wetfire. We got LeBron James, a dunking version of LeBron James, and then we have Sylvester and Tweety, along with exclusive pops of a 10-inch LeBron James and a Flock Taz, which both of those will be going to Walmart, along with another version of LeBron James where he's standing on a ball, which that will be exclusive to Amazon. We have a Funko Shop exclusive Porky Pig, and then a metallic variant of Marvin the Martian, which would be a part of a Pop and Tea bundle that is exclusive to Target. And those are expected to release as early as June 2021. Then on April 20th, Funko had announced a pop of Static Shock for the comic version of the Justice League lineup, which this is going to be exclusive to Hot Topic, and this is available now at Hot Topic stores and online. Also announced on that day by Funko is a flocked variant of Towley from the South Park lineup, which this is going to be exclusive to Amazon, and this is available for pre-order now and is expected to release as early as October 2021. Then on April 21st, we have a brand new wave of Avatar: The Last Airbender pops, which I'm going to say sorry in advance for some of the names that I will most likely be botching here. So we got ourselves common pops of Ozai, Suki, Admiral Zhao, Ty Lee, and a 6-inch Aang in Avatar state, followed by exclusive pops of a glow-in-the-dark Admiral Zhao, a Hot Topic exclusive Blue Spirit, along with a glow-in-the-dark Chase variant, a Books A Million exclusive Mai with knives. Then we got two variants of Aang crouching. One will be kind of a normal variant, I guess we can put it as, which will be exclusive to the Funko Shop. And then we have a metallic variant that will be exclusive to Funko Hollywood. And then we got ourselves a Target exclusive glow-in-the-dark variant of the 6-inch Aang in Avatar state, which these are expected to release as early as July 2021. So kicking off with the Splinter Pop for the TMNT Retro Toys lineup. This is actually a pretty cool pop, and I think finally we got ourselves a Splinter Pop here because it's weird that they didn't make a Splinter Pop first for this specific set, like the Retro Toy set. I felt like that should have went with maybe instead of like Casey Jones, and then possibly, I think like you've mentioned in the past, MD, make Casey Jones a specialty series exclusive or something besides being a common with that set. This is pretty cool. I'm liking the idea that they put white eyes on here instead of black, although it looks weird, but at the same time, it brings out all the dark colors that are involved with this pop, like the dark brown fur, of course, the black nose. Kind of wish he was doing more in this pop instead of just standing still like that, but overall, still a pretty cool pop. Space Jam: A New Legacy. I heard about. Oh,
Iggy's dropping off a loaf of bread for me, so I'm gonna go get that right now.
okay.
Okay, I'll be right back.
All right, we have fast forwarded in time. MD has got his loaf of bread from Biggie, and now I can talk about the Space Jam: A New Legacy pops. So Lola Bunny, pretty cool that we finally have a separate Lola Bunny instead of the Lola Bunny that was with the crossover with the DC lineup that we had. That was like Lola Bunny as Wonder Woman, I'm pretty sure. So it's cool we finally have a Lola Bunny by herself in a sense. Daffy Duck as Coach. Kind of curious about that scenario there. I know that some of these pops actually, I think it's the Daffy Duck and the Bugs Bunny are already in stores at certain places because I've seen some people do reviews of these pops already. I can't remember who it was, but there were a couple people I've seen that did reviews of some of these pops already because they've already arrived in stores, or at least some of them. But the Daffy Duck looks pretty cool. The Bugs Bunny, of course, is pretty cool. I'm curious, though, why the basketballs, or at least the majority of them, are silver instead of a normal orange basketball. I'm curious about that. White Mamba. I'm curious to see about this. This is pretty weird. Looks like a snake like creature. Marvin the Martian is pretty cool. Wetfire also looks pretty cool. Two variants of LeBron James, which there's a bit of mixed hype. I think that's what's kind of the bad hype towards this set of pop is because LeBron James being a part of this movie, and that people are wishing that we got a Toon Squad version of Michael Jordan way before we got a Toon Squad version of essentially LeBron James. But of course, in this movie, it's LeBron James and not Michael Jordan. But who knows? Maybe Michael Jordan, for all we know, makes a cameo appearance at some point. Who knows? That would be cool. But these versions are all right. Of course, one's doing a slam dunk, and then we got just him dribbling. I mean, it's just simple basketball molds that we have seen from the NBA lineup previously. It's cool that we got a Sylvester and Tweety pop for this lineup in their Toon Squad outfit, and I'm really loving the idea of Tweety just sitting on a basketball. I think that's very cool that they did that to kind of make it different from the other Sylvester and Tweety pops, because we've only gotten those for like the Looney Tunes lineup where it's just Tweety just sitting there as kind of like a 2-for-1, or sorry, Funko, I'm supposed to say Pop and Buddy bundle between Sylvester and Tweety, which is cool that they made it slightly different for Space Jam. The exclusive pops, so 10-inch LeBron James, I'm not surprised. They do this with the NBA pops where they take very famous players and they make them a 10-inch pop. Actually, specifically, LeBron James. Another LeBron James exclusive, which I feel like it's not needed, honestly. But I feel like the two best pops that we have here in this entire set, in my opinion, with the Walmart exclusive Flock Taz and the Funko Shop exclusive Porky Pig. I'm really loving the fact that not only did they make a very popular character like Taz as an exclusive pop and that it'll be a little harder to find, but I'm loving the idea that they also made it Flock. And speaking of Porky Pig, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken, besides being called the Cadet in the Duck Dodgers lineup of Funko Pops, I think this is the first ever Porky Pig Funko Pop that we have gotten for this set. So I'm hoping soon that there's actually going to be a Porky Pig for the Looney Tunes lineup itself and not just the Space Jam lineup. Oh, and I almost forgot about the Pop and Tea bundle. The t-shirt looks really, really cool. I forgot what the box looks like. I've seen pictures of what the box looks like, but I'm pretty sure from what I remember, it's the same thing that they did with the other Pop and Tea bundle for the Marvel Blacklight Pops, is that they're doing a sideways box with a window in it, if I'm not mistaken, where you can see the pop in there. So that's really, really cool. And I'm pretty sure from what I've heard, this thing sold out in like minutes. Then we got ourselves Static Shock, which there's a bit of mixed hype also for this pop. People know of Static Shock because of the, I think it's early 2000s animation that they did. I don't know what network it was on, but there was like an early 2000s animation for what I remember, and that's how a lot of people remember it. But this is for the Justice League lineup for the classic comics, so people aren't happy because it's not for the animation, but it's for the comics. It's really cool. I'm loving the design. I don't really know much about Static Shock as it is, but the overall like design, and especially the way that they executed the platform there, is pretty cool, honestly. Then we got Flock Towley, which I don't really have much to say because I don't watch South Park all that often. Obviously, I've seen South Park. I mean, who hasn't seen South Park? But Towley, I don't actually really remember this character all that much, but I do really like the idea they made this flock because, of course, a towel is I don't want to say a towel's kind of furry in a way. I mean, it's got that material. It's hard to explain the feeling of a towel, but it makes sense that it is flocked for the sense of what a towel essentially feels like. And I know that there are a lot of people in the comment section below are a little disgruntled once again that the eyes on this aren't bloodshot red because of what this character does in the episode that it's in, I'm pretty sure. Overall, I can see a lot of people, probably including MD, wanting to get this pop off of Amazon. Then we got ourselves Avatar The Last Airbender. So many people are hyped for this. I think this is actually the most hyped set of Funko Pops for the month of April 2021 so far, just because we have gotten like bits and pieces of this set as terms to exclusive pops the last year or two, but we haven't actually gotten a huge wave of Avatar The Last Airbender pops since I'm pretty sure 2018, like a lot of the waves of pops that haven't gotten waves in a while. So I don't really know much about this show because I've not seen this show. I've only seen bits and pieces probably. So I'm really loving the Aang in Avatar state 6-inch pop. I think that's a really unique looking pop. I'm kind of curious to see what it looks like in person because I'm just thinking like, is it going to be in like a spherical ball and then like whatever is going around it is kind of like either hovering on the outside or in the inside. And then the exclusive pops, what's weird is that there's going to be a glow in the dark chase for the Hot Topic exclusive, except on the Funko app, they haven't even posted the photo of the glow in the dark chase. So I don't know if it's just them being delayed or maybe whoever made this glam shot actually made a mistake and it's not actually going to be a glow in the dark chase. It's just going to be a separate pop. People are also hyped for the Books a Million exclusive, I'm pretty sure. I think this thing sold out actually on the Books a Million website. So there are people that are hyped for this pop. And then we got the Aang pops that are crouching. I kind of find it weird that like one is a Funko Shop exclusive and one is a Funko Hollywood exclusive instead of, let's say, both of these are for one retailer per se, and then one is a chase and the other is more of a common version. It's going to be a little weird, especially if there are fans at a different side of the world that can't get this Funko Hollywood exclusive because they don't live on the West Coast. But it's going to be weird to obtain that Funko Hollywood exclusive if you're trying to complete this whole set. Shout out to Money's Vault, who really wants this whole set of pops. I'm liking the metallic version, though, better than the common version in a way. There is more hype for that, but at the same time, like, I'm kind of digging the way that the clothes look in this Aang crouching pop. It's kind of got that glossy feel. I do think it makes sense for the weapon that he's got in his hand or whatever he has in his hand. And I noticed that the little arrow on Aang's head is slightly different color. With the Funko Shop exclusive, it is a nice blue color, but you got this like shiny, darker blue color when it comes to the Funko Hollywood exclusive. So I guess it's pretty cool. And then you got the glow in the dark variant of the 6-inch Aang in Avatar state, which I think this is going to look pretty cool. I can't remember if I've seen the actual photos of what it looks like glow in the dark, but I'm just going to assume that the only thing glows in the dark is the eyes and the arrow on his head. I don't think that orange is going to glow in the dark or anything inside of that spherical ball or outside in this case. Overall, this is a pretty cool set of pops coming from Avatar The Last Airbender, and can't wait to see if they make any more Comic-Con exclusives that could be as good as these pops that are showing right now.
Okay, to start things off, we have Splinter from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, part of the Retro Toys lineup, and I am in love with this. This is awesome. I'm glad to see that we're seeing another Splinter because I believe there's only one from the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle set. And I really love this one, especially if you compare this one compared to the OG. You can tell they are very different. And this one looks a lot like the original action figure, which I love. The head sculpt on this thing is amazing to match that original action figure. Even just the way the body is kind of posed, how it's simplistic, that's how it should be. That's how those figures were. This thing's great. The shading around the eyes looks really, really cool. I like how it has the white eyes. Everything about this figure is really, really nice, and I can't wait to get it. And then we have all of these Space Jam pops. I can't wait for this movie. I am so pumped for this. All of these pops look really, really awesome. I would love to get all of these. Whether that can happen or not, that's a different question. But to start off, the first thing I want to mention is that these new outfits or jerseys, they're very, very different from the original, which are so classic now. You see people wearing those jerseys or t-shirts with the original Toon Squad logo, and now this is really different. And at first, I didn't really like them, but they're starting to grow on me. I kind of like how they're mostly blue. And then, kind of on your side, you have that kind of OG Looney Tunes logo. I think that's really, really great. So, starting off with Lola Bunny, this is really great. I mean, we want to see Lola Bunny. Obviously, you mentioned it previous about the Lola Bunny that we did get. And this is great. And there has been some controversy due to this new movie with Lola Bunny because they desexualized her, I guess, where she's not, as the youngins would say, thick with a triple C anymore. She's more of like just a regular body type, I guess you could say. I don't find that to be a bad thing. I don't find it to be a good thing either. I'm kind of torn right in the middle of it. And I think this pop looks awesome. So that gives me good hope for what she's going to look like in the movie. Daffy as the coach, this is awesome. I mean, just his gesture, obviously, the suit that he's wearing just screams that he's the coach. And that's a really, really cool pop. Bugs Bunny, this is all right. We've seen a lot of bugs, but this is a good one. I like how he's got one of the eyebrows raised. And yeah, like you mentioned, what is going on with those silver balls? Do they have some kind of power or are they just silver? And then White Mamba, that's a pretty interesting looking character design, and I'm pretty glad to see something like that. Marvin the Martian, this is all right. I would say this is one of my least favorites just because it's a little harder to tell that it's a Space Jam pop rather than a Looney Tunes pop because you don't really see a whole lot of that jersey due to him crossing his arms like that. And then this other character, I forget what you said. His name is like Wet Fire or something.
Yeah, like on the box, it even says like wet slash fire. So I don't know if I call it wet slash fire or I probably just say wet fire because there's just no point of adding
Sure.
that slash to the name.
This is an interesting character design, and I do notice on the jersey it says Goon Squad, so that will be the name of the opposing team, I'm guessing, and I think they're going to go with the same kind of thing they went with the first movie where it's kind of these strong monster characters that they are facing against in basketball, obviously. That looks pretty cool. I wouldn't be surprised if down the road we see a glow in the dark version of this. I kind of hope we do because I think that'd be pretty cool. Then we have the LeBron James. These are decent. Obviously, it makes sense to use previous molds and then just have them look like Space Jam. I have no gripes with these. I think they're pretty good. And then Sylvester and Tweety, yeah, these are awesome as well. And I do agree with you. Having Tweety sit on that ball, one, makes your poppin' buddy, quote unquote, a little more, you get a little more value for it because that's a little bit bigger of a figure. So that's a really great poppin' buddy pack. 10-inch LeBron, that's all right. I don't think it's needed, but I mean, especially if you already have all of the 10-inch LeBrons, you're definitely going to want this one. Flocked Taz, so awesome. I love Taz. I love Flock Pops. I think this turned out very, very well, and I really, really want to get this pop. The Amazon exclusive LeBron, this is all right. I mean, it's kind of weird that he's standing on the basketball like that. I feel like this is probably just a football slash soccer pop mold, and then they just made it LeBron instead. So I don't know how I feel about that one. I'd say that's probably one of the worst right up there with the Marvin the Martian. I would say even the Marvin the Martian is better than that, though, because we only have two of those. And then the Funko Shop exclusive Porky. This is great. He looks really, really awesome. And yeah, we finally have a Porky Pig that's not cadet. So super, super cool. Then the Pop and Tea bundle. This is awesome as well. I love the shirt. I think that the metallic Marvin the Martian is actually pretty cool. Then moving on to Static Shock. This is actually an awesome looking pop. I don't really know a whole lot about this character, but the pose looks so good. The way they made the hair, where the dreads are kind of flowing backwards, looks really, really great. And obviously, like you said, with that base, I think this pop is going to be very awesome. And it's Hot Topic exclusive, so I'm sure we'll be able to get the chance to see it in person. Then we have the Amazon exclusive Flocked Towelly. This is wicked. I'm so happy they made this. And honestly, I didn't really think of this, but I'm glad that we have it. And I am one of those people that is in the complaint section of why are the eyes black? Obviously, they might not want to have the eyes just be like white with bloodshot veins because that kind of hints at something. Instead, I think they should have just done light pink eyes instead of doing the black eyes. I think that would have been the best way to go. But that being said, I still think this is an awesome pop and I will definitely be getting it. The Avatar, The Last Airbender pops. This is a pretty cool wave. All of these look really, really great. I'm glad to see we're getting more Avatar pops because I know there's a lot of people that want them, so why not do it? The Aang is really, really cool. I like how they went about doing that. And yeah, I definitely do feel like it's going to be in some kind of like clear sphere capsule to get the point across to have the whatever it is, the elements, I guess, going around them to make it as seamless as it can be, I guess. And then the rest of the pops in that common set, they all look great as well. I haven't seen Avatar either, but I do think that the rest of the pops look really, really awesome. They have a lot of detail, and I feel like they're some of the best Avatar pops we've seen. Then that Hot Topic exclusive, that's pretty neat. I like that character design. And yeah, like you said, it's weird that there's a Glow Chase sticker there, but then on the app, it's not shown. And then the Crouching Angs, these are weird. I mean, they're not weird, but it's just weird that they did a metallic one, I guess. I don't really like the metallic one as much as I like the Funko Shop one. And then the Books a Million, that character is pretty cool too. I mean, all of these are great, and I'm sure so many people are going to be buying these. But then we have that glow in the dark Aang, the Target exclusive, and I really, really like this one. And I hope that you're wrong. And I hope that the elements are also glow in the dark and not just, like you said, the eyes and the arrow on the forehead, which are almost a given that those are going to be glow in the dark. But I really, really hope that the elements around him are also glow in the dark because I think this thing would look so awesome.
All right, so now we'll move on to the next section of pops, which there are, in a sense, three announcements, all announced on April 26th, which is yesterday as we're recording this podcast, since today is the 27th. Kicking off, Disney Shop UK had announced an exclusive pop of a normal variant of the Treasure Skeleton Pop Deluxe, which has since sold out on Disney Shop UK's website, but should be available soon on the Disney Shop website for the US. Then Funko had announced a EB Games slash GameStop exclusive 6-inch power loader with Ripley for the Aliens 35th anniversary, in which this is expected to release as early as June 2021. And then essentially the last set of Funko Pops we're going to be discussing about for this week is a brand new set of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier pops, which we got ourselves some common pops and we got exclusives. So starting out with the common pops, we got ourselves Sam Wilson, aka Falcon, as Captain America. We have the US agent and we have a Zone 73 version of Winter Soldier, along with three exclusives of the Falcon as Captain America, which we have a flying variant that'll be going to Walmart, a kind of fighting stance version that'll be an EB Game slash GameStop exclusive, and then we have him with the shield sticking out as an Amazon exclusive as a part of the Year of the Shield set, in which these are going to be released as early as June 2021. So kicking off with the Treasure Skeleton Pop Deluxe, the normal version instead of the Emerald City Comic Con glow in the dark version. It's cool that they ended up doing a non-glow in the dark version. I feel like that was going to be something they ended up doing, considering that the glow in the dark version was only 4,000 pieces, I'm pretty sure. So not a lot of people could get that pop. And now you can get it through essentially Disney Parks and the Disney Shop website. And so it's cool that they did that because some people might not like the glow in the dark aspect, but truly, I think that the glow in the dark version is a little better than the normal version just because of the fact that with the glow in the dark version, it gives that effect that you see in movies where, like, if you open up a treasure chest and all of a sudden there's a beam of light coming out. So that gives me that vibes and why I like that. Then we have the 6-inch power loader with Ripley from Aliens. I haven't really seen any of the Alien movies. This is pretty cool. I know there was a ton of hype going towards this Funko Pop. Like, I don't even think I've seen any bad hype. And the thing about April this month was there was kind of like some nonsense bad hype because there were so many people that would just randomly comment, "Where's Pietro? Where's Pietro?" There were so many of those comments that kind of like took away the hype away from some of these pops this month. Anyways, this pop basically had no bad hype whatsoever, and the detail's pretty cool, honestly. And I think a lot of people were really wanting this pop, or either that, or like they never expected Funko making this pop at all, which is really, really cool when you can get people to kind of get that reaction out of themselves. In this case, because I've seen a couple of Ripley pops, this specific one kind of looks like season 211 from Stranger Things in a way. But overall, it's a really cool pop. And then last but not least, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier pops, which the season finale or series finale, I should say, happened this past Friday. And it was probably the best episode of the entire series. I think everything they did in that episode was so great. And the first thing I thought about when I watched that episode was they need to make Falcon as Captain America in Funko Pop form. And in a sense, we have 4 of them. So we'll talk about the first one, which is just standing still, which is perfectly fine. You have the US agent, which is pretty cool, which I won't mention obviously who it is, even though if you've seen the series, you know who US agent is, but I'm not going to mention it for the sake that MD still has not seen the Falcon and the Winter Soldier yet. This Winter Soldier pop is pretty cool. And then you have the Falcon as Captain America exclusive pops, which I think all of these are cool in their own ways. I'm loving the Walmart exclusive because it's in a flying stance. He's got the shield and even the wings are out. The EB Game slash GameStop exclusive, which is really, really nice. Also, he's in a fighting stance. The wings are out and the wings are there. And then we have the Year of the Shield pop, which I think either I mentioned it and I kept it on the podcast last week, or I might have deleted it. I can't remember. But I did remember saying that possibly adding to pops for the Year of the Shield lineup, because we've gotten the Winter Soldier and the Red Guardian, that we could possibly see a Falcon pop added to this lineup. And of course, we have. Personally, I think the EB Game slash GameStop exclusive one is the best, mainly because originally I thought it was the Walmart because I love the idea of him flying. But with the fact that both the Walmart exclusive and the EB Game slash GameStop exclusive pops are both metallic, you can notice that on the EB Game slash GameStop exclusive pop that the wings and the boots are metallic, unlike the Walmart exclusive where it's only the boots that are metallic, which I kind of feel is a downer for the Walmart exclusive. And I like the idea, of course, of the wings being metallic because I feel like that should happen on this. And I can only imagine that the shield is also got a nice metallic-y, glossy look to it. So I'm really excited to see these pops in person. I think these are going to sell very well.
Okay, so we have the treasure skeleton. Obviously, we have seen this pop before, but now it is not glow in the dark, and that is not a bad thing. I'm very happy about this because now I actually have a chance to obtain this pop. Then Ellen Ripley with the power loader. This is wicked. I was actually explaining to DK yesterday how I had bought one of my buddies for his birthday the Aliens game on PS3, and it was kind of this bundle deal where it came with a statue of Ellen Ripley in the power loader. So that's basically where I first got introduced to this whole character, I guess you could say. And I think this pop looks great. I mean, for what it is, especially when I haven't seen the movie, but when I've played some of the game and I've seen like an actual statue of this character, they did good translating it to pop form because obviously fitting a big ass head inside of that kind of little space is kind of hard to do. But I feel like they did it pretty well. And I do agree with you. It definitely does look like season 211. That's funny that you mentioned that. Then we have the Falcon and the Winter Soldier pops, and you are a liar. You say, I have not seen this. I watched the first episode yesterday.
Very nice.
So, yes, I have seen one episode. These pops look all right. The common pops are okay. So, I'm not really going to talk too much about those ones. But then the exclusives, these are pretty awesome. And yeah, I think it's cool how the Falcon is Captain America, I guess you could say. And yeah, you definitely did call it with the Year of the Shield thing. I do remember you saying that. So that's pretty funny. And I also do agree with you that the GameStop one is definitely the best one. I mean, you explained it perfectly. The metallic wings. I mean, those wings need to be metallic, especially if you're doing a metallic pop. I don't see why they didn't do it with the Walmart one, but it might also be because if they put metallic wings on the Walmart one, the GameStop one might not sell as well just because what's the point? Because the sculpt for the Walmart one I do like more, but I like the GameStop one more because it's more of a well-rounded pop because of how much is metallic. And then the Amazon one, the Year of the Shield one, I don't really like that one. I think it's potentially the worst out of the set. I mean, it might be better than the common because you do have a little bit more of a dynamic to it where he's kind of striking a pose with his fist out, and then you also have the what I would assume to be like bullets hitting the shield. So that's all right, but I do think the GameStop one is the best out of this entire set.
Before we move on to our top 10 list, we are going to present our quarterly segment known as Poptistics, which those brand new to the podcast. Poptistics is a segment where we look at basically the statistics of previous top 10 lists, which we only do this quarterly because if we did this monthly, it basically would not change all that much. If it changes, it'll change by like a 0.2% difference, which would be no point of doing this segment every month. So we do it quarterly because there is a decent difference by the time that we present this quarterly. So showing off the first poptistic is that 61.9% of the time pops will be exclusives on our top 10 list instead of commons, and that 61.1% of the time pops will be different between mine and MD Shady's top 10 list instead of having the same pops. Then out of the 540 slots that have happened in total in a Funko Popcast history, 97 of them have been convention exclusive pops on our top 10 list, while the second most still held by the Funko shop with 44. Out of the 540 slots, 411 of them, or in total 76.1% of the time, a pop will be your regular 3.75-inch pop that will appear on our top 10 list, with the second most still being held by Deluxe with 26. Out of the 540 slots, 74 of them have been for the Pop television lineup, while the second most, which is a new second most, now goes to Marvel with 64 out of 540 Pops coming from that lineup. So that is the end of Poptistics, and we will move on now to the top 10 Funko Pops of April 2021, which of course, like we mentioned, we are recording this on April 27th, and the pops that basically the last pop we talked about is from April 26th. So the 27th to the 30th pops will be moved over to next week's podcast, where we will also have our update segment to update that top 10 list. But without further ado, like every top 10 list, let's kick off with MD Shady and his number 10 pick.
All right, coming in at number 10 on my list is the Target exclusive glow in the dark Aang. I think this thing is going to look very, very awesome, especially if, like I said, the elements around him are glow in the dark as well.
Coming in at number 10 on my list is also a Target exclusive Splinter. The reason that it's so low on the list, although it has a cool amount of detail and that I personally like this pop, it's the fact that because it was posted by Pop Culture and it wasn't posted by Funko, and there was no like comments to look after to see what the hype is from the overall Funko fanatics' opinions. So I had to rate it a little low because I couldn't find any overall hype.
Moving on to number 9, I have the Treasure Skeleton. Reason being is because now I can finally obtain this pop without paying a ridiculous price. And obviously, like we've mentioned before, when the glow in the dark one was announced, that this thing is amazing and there's a lot of really, really awesome detail on it.
Coming in at number 9 on my top 10 list is the Funko Shop exclusive Dark Side from the Justice League lineup. I love the detail involved in this pop, and I think it looks better than the Zack Snyder's version of Dark Side. I love the blue color. I love the flame base. Reason it's low is because Dark Side was one of those pops that suffered the kind of bad hype fate of where's Pietro? We need Pietro. Where's the restock Pietro? Pietro. It's like, come on, guys. So it really sucks that it has to be that low, but it is definitely one of the more detailed pops for the month of April 2021.
Then on to number 8, I have the Blacklight Hulk. I think this thing looks awesome. They didn't do a whole lot of color change, which I think is a good thing with the Hulk because his colorway is already amazing with the purple and green, which complement each other very, very well. The only thing that I found wrong with this, which I did discuss on a previous podcast, was that there was no highlights in the hair. I think if they would have done a blue highlight in the hair, this pop would have been very close to the top of my list.
Coming in at number 8 on my list is the Funko Shop exclusive Porky Pig. I think this pop looks really, really cool, and I think they did a great job with the outfit and just the overall look of Porky Pig. Reasons at number 8 is because of kind of that mixed hype as terms to why did they make a LeBron James pop. So not a lot of people were talking about Porky Pig, but there were some comments talking about Porky Pig, and I thought it deserved to be on this list.
Coming in at number 7, I have Ellen Ripley on the power loader. I think that this pop was executed very, very well, and it looks good for what they can do with a pop. They made it look pretty sweet.
So coming in at number 7, it is the Disney Shop exclusive Treasure Skeleton Pop Deluxe. Great amount of detail, just as good as the glow in the dark version. The only reason it is lower is because once again it was posted by a retailer. There was no post by Funko, so there was no like overall hype to go off of, but I think it was definitely more detailed than the 3 pops that I had mentioned.
On to number 6, I have a Space Jam pop, and it is the flocked Taz. I've always loved Taz, and obviously, I really enjoy myself a flocked pop. This thing looks great. It is kind of similar to the Taz that we got before, but that's because is it really a Taz pop if it doesn't have that kind of spinning tornado that he creates? So, overall, I do think this is a really, really awesome pop, and I'm super pumped for the new Space Jam movie.
Coming in at number 6 on my list, it is the Funko Hollywood exclusive metallic and crouching. I felt, even though I kind of do agree with you that I do like the Funko Shop version better, I thought I'd put the Funko Hollywood version because it's got a nice touch with the metallic.
Can you dig it, sucker? Coming in at number 5, I have the Blacklight Alice from the Blacklight Alice in Wonderland set. I like this one the best, even though the whole set is pretty dang good. I really, really enjoy Blacklight Pops now that they're starting to pump out quite a bit of them. Like I said with the Hulk, they didn't really change too much to Alice because it kind of keeps her normal colorway, but I think they did a really, really great job of highlighting what they needed to make a great blacklight pop.
Coming at number 5 on my list is the EB Games slash GameStop exclusive Captain America. So cool that we got a pop like this. I'm glad that we got essentially Falcon in the Captain America attire as a Funko Pop. I mean, I feel like they had to make it, especially because that episode was just so memorable. Like I mentioned earlier, I love the idea that they put the metallic aspects on the wings and the boots, unlike the Walmart exclusive. If they would have done it with the Walmart exclusive, I probably would have had the Walmart exclusive over the EB Game slash GameStop exclusive.
Now we reach number 4, and I have the 7-Eleven exclusive cherry Slurpee. I do really want to get the pina colada one, but I do think that the cherry one looks the best. They all look great, and I can't wait to get all 4 of them. But the cherry one is definitely top tier when it comes to those 4 pops.
Moving on to my number 4, it is the Walmart exclusive Flocked Taz. I love this version of Taz, especially not only did they put him in the Toon Squad outfit, but they actually, unlike the other Space Jam pop that they made for Taz, they actually put him in the mold of Taz in like the little spinning tornado dealio there, which I think it's a really cool added detail to that.
Moving on to the top 3. It wouldn't be an MD Shady list if there wasn't an ad icon on it. So number 3 is the Tapatio Man. I think this pop looks really, really great. And it's one of those ad icons where it kind of caught me off guard. And I'm like, oh, yeah, dang. Like, I wouldn't have thought of this as an ad icon, but I think it turned out really well.
So coming in at number 3 on my list is the EB Games slash GameStop exclusive 6-inch Ripley with power loader. This is really, really cool. And why it's so far up on my list even though I haven't seen Aliens, is the fact that it basically has no bad hype, which is pretty rare for a Funko Pop to have no bad hype. From what I've seen in the comments, it could have updated since that, but it's at number 3, of course, because I don't have much of a personal reaction to it, which is why it didn't make it to either number 2 or number 1 in my top 10 list.
All the way to number 2 now, I have the Target exclusive Master Splinter. This pop looks great. It reminds me of my childhood. It looks just like the action figure, which it's supposed to look like. So it's just great. I don't think they could have done a better job. They could have maybe flocked it, but then it wouldn't look like the actual action figure. So I think it's one of those perfect pops, in my opinion.
Coming in at number 2 on my list is the Tapashio Man. Now, this is a weird instance because it's not every day, or actually in this case, it's not every month that I add an Add Icons pop to my top 10 list. And here we go with an Add Icons pop with the Tapashio Man. Personal reaction because I fucking love hot sauce. So I thought, you know what? It had to be on my top 10 list. And there was a lot of hype for this, actually. The only reason it didn't make number 1 is because of the detail in this next pop and the fact that there's a huge overall hype for this.
Moving on to number 1, and it is the Flocked Towelly from South Park. This pop's amazing. I considered bringing it up or down. I don't know which direction. Not number 1, let's say. I considered it not being number 1 for the fact that I feel like the eyes should have been changed colors. But like I said, it's still such a really great pop. It was one of those characters, like I mentioned, where I didn't see it coming, and I'm very happy that we did get it.
Coming in at number 1 on my top 10 list, and that is the Target exclusive glow in the dark 6-inch Aang in Avatar state. This thing is super unique in detail. It brought up my personal reaction because of the detail and just how crazy cool it is. I could have went with the common, but I feel like you might as well go with the glow in the dark exclusive in this case. But people were really hyped, especially for this pop specifically. Definitely should be the number 1 pop, at least number 1 for right now, because who knows what the rest of April 2021 is looking like. But anyways, guys, that is going to be the end of this week's podcast. If you enjoyed this week's podcast, make sure you smash that like button. Comment in the comment section below and let us know your favorite April 2021 Funko Pop announcements so far. Press that subscribe button for more content like this podcast and any other videos we do on this channel in the future. And press the little bell beside it to be notified of when that future content gets released. And if you guys haven't yet, follow us on all of our social media platforms on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at A Funko Podcast. It'll be listed in the description below. But anyways, guys, thank you for listening to this week's podcast, and we hope to see you guys next week on A Funko Podcast. 1, 2, 3, I'm out of here.
And don't forget to bring a towel. Peace in, peace out.